What's gonna be is gonna be.
This song
What goes up must come down. What's gonna be is gonna be. It ain't nothing you can do about it. Well, there's nothing you can do about it. We are talked onto you. We are talked to your television screen. And it's a privilege to bring you this show every day of the blessed week, every morning, Mondays to Fridays. Today's conversation is very relatable to the average Nigerian. I remember that not too long ago, we had agreed that almost every, I want to use that word, but every Nigerian has a side hustle. Even your MD has a side hustle. Even your MD has a side hustle. Check out where. What's your MD's side hustle?
What's gonna be, It's not
I think one of my
MD's side hustle though is going to the gym.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Like literally, he can make a killing on.
So he's
I think that's his main job.
That's his side hustle. Shots fired, MD. Shots fired.
The ambassador, if you're supposed to sell your side hustle, what's it gonna be?
Should we even go there? In how many seconds?
5. No, 10 seconds.
No, 30 seconds.
So elevator pitch.
Okay,
yeah.
so
1, 2, 3, go.
I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm an event compare. I'm a voiceover artist. I'm a makeup artist. I'm a fashion designer. I am a singer, songwriter.
Gang, gang.
Over to you.
Hey. Go on. Ask the question. No. You go. You think you have sense?
Yes, I
do. In 30 seconds, say your side hustle in 30 seconds.
I'm a writer, producer, actor, mental health advocate, psychologist.
Oh yeah, that mental health thing.
In 30 seconds, this is what I do. I'm a linguist. I'm a polyglot. I'm a translator. I'm a broadcaster. I'm a cellist. I used to sell things.
Come on.
And then what else? I'm a teacher.
All right.
Yo.
Our next table is full. We are stacked.
It's another trans. It's a different trans.
That's for the nighttime show. No, come on now.
No where Gen Z is going with that one. No love. In the name of the Father, omnipatris.
Anyway, let's leave the banter for later in the show, because I want us to take a look at something or discuss something that is related to the Japa Chronicles. Now, last week, the president approved a national health policy crafted to help retain professionals in the sector and encourage those in the diaspora to return to Nigeria. We know that it's been a back and forth with this brain drain issue. Yep. Now, there's no doubt that Nigeria has experienced the largest exodus of professionals it has seen in the last 5 to 10 years, and it has put a strain on essential service sectors, including primary healthcare. But what is the alternative? Really, professional imprisonment? Now, Dr. Olufumi drew our attention to a distressing situation currently being faced by Nigerian nurses. Now, in her words, they are being held hostage by the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, NMCN. Now, Dr. Olufumi also, through her social media page, shared a letter indicating, and that's what you see on your screen, indicating that the council has indefinitely suspended the license verification portal, making it impossible for those seeking opportunities abroad to get the required documentation, essentially crippling their hopes and their dreams. Now, this draconian decision means that, number one, licensed nurses in Nigeria cannot relocate abroad for work, at least not anymore. Number two, those already abroad cannot move to other countries or may even have to return as they cannot renew their licenses. See what I mean by professional imprisonment?
And this is a long read, actually. And she's making a lot of solid points, because as you were taking us through the story, I was going through the letter and how she articulately wrote it. It has nothing to do with sentiment or emotions. She's just calling it as it is. Isn't this a form of imprisonment? What do you mean by...
sorry, please ask the question.
I'm speaking out loud. What do you mean by they can't move? If a licensed nurse moves from here to the UK, for example, that nurse cannot move from the UK to the US or to Canada. You are stuck where you are. Why? Like I said, you know... I wanted to sing.
You wanted to sing? Yes. So here's the thing, and you guys know that I would usually come in with the human angle. And most times when we talk about these policies, these laws, these statistics, they're just numbers that fly over people's heads. And I want to sort of bring it down to brass tacks, the meat and bones of the issue, so people can understand what this actually means. Now, all of us know the World Health Organization. They have a recommended nurse to patient ratio, standard across the world. It is 1 nurse to 4 patients. Guess where Nigeria falls in that ratio?
I don't even want to think.
Amazingly low. We are at 1 nurse to 20 patients, and in some of the more rural areas, it's even more than 20 patients.
Yes, of course.
It doesn't stop there. Now, in 2022, I believe, the same World Health Organization, they released a study or a report, that was talking about, what do I remember? Primary healthcare coverage in Nigeria. Primary healthcare coverage. And we are, of course, ranking amongst the lowest at just 43% of Nigerians being able to access primary healthcare. So that does not mean surgery, that does not mean dialysis, that does not mean cancer treatment. Primary healthcare, 43%. That was in 2018. Not 20, my mistake, in 2018. Now, between 2016 and 2021, NMA, the Nigeria Medical Association, they did a study or report or something like that. And between 2016 and 2021, 9,000, and this is documented, so the numbers are definitely higher, 9,000 medical health professionals left Nigeria. That's nurses, doctors, 2016 to 2021. This is barring anything that has happened since 2021 till now. And we know that it is, when did the Japa thing start? When did it start? It was, what, 2020 or something?
Yeah, there was the...
so it's definitely higher than 9,000.
And the wave has been on an ever steady increase.
Yes.
The wave of Japa. And most Japa in quotes, come from the medical field.
Yes.
They are the ones that first just go. I don't know if we can see a letter from a board.
Well, while that letter is coming up, and I'm going to try and land this plane. You see, I said those things because people need to understand what this means, not only for the everyday Nigerian, but so that's the letter on our screen right now.
It says
Go ahead.
To further notice, the Texas Board of Nursing has halted the application process for all Nigerian applicants whose verification of licensure for the Nigerian NMC is missing or expired. The Nigerian NMC has notified us that they have stopped sending verifications indefinitely. The Board of Nursing requires that Nigerian applicants have a current unexpired verification of licensure from Nigeria NMC on file in order to move forward with the application for licensure. Now, there is no waiver for the Nigerian verification, nor is there any alternative to having the verification sent to us. The board hopes to inform all applicants when the situation changes. And while the board is sympathetic to any inconvenience or frustration related to our requirements for licensure verification, board staff must take the requisite care and time to adequately review each submission for the BON to fulfill its mission of protection and promotion of the welfare of the people of Texas. Basically saying that Nigeria has decided that you cannot continue and you can't move to another country except you come back home.
And this is the problem. So here's the thing. We talk about bad governance. Okay, we get that. But, and I know you guys are going to say, I've come again, but this is a gross, just a show of our government's lack of ability to self-reflect. I'll explain why I said it. You see, if you cannot self-reflect, it means you do not possess the skills of reflection at all. If you cannot see yourself, you cannot see where you're going wrong. And if you cannot see where you're going wrong, you cannot fix it. So apply that to the Nigerian situation. I want to give us an analogy. What is happening, it feels like, you know, Nigeria is an island, right? And this island is infested with wild, ravenous animals. Think like dinosaurs living on Earth right now, and then human beings are there as well. But we are on an island. So we are not equipped, we don't have the tools, we don't have the skills to kill dinosaurs, but we're stuck on this island with them. So what do people say? They say, listen, let's get off the island because we can't fight these animals and they're killing us off. And Nigeria is saying, no, don't get off the island, just stay here and let the animals keep killing you.
So my own is, where are we going with this? What is the enemy, or what are they going to do? Because as it is, this is I would call it as it is. I was going to sing a song. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Listen, I think it's a shameful attempt to hold people, professionals, against their will, rather than addressing the problem at hand. What is the root cause of this desire, this mass overwhelming, ever increasing desire to leave the country? You've mentioned a lot of elements on ground or at play. They are underpaid. Nurses are overworked. They are unfulfilled. You have a nurse to 20 people. And I say I want to leave. So now you're going to say that instead of starting a nursing degree here, you would rather leave the country and start a nursing degree outside the shores of this country, whether it's an African country or not. I have a friend who relocated to Rwanda. She wasn't even looking. I said she wasn't even looking outside the country. She moved to Rwanda. Why? Rwanda is calm, she says, and it's a budding country that has a promise of a solid tomorrow. She's not even looking for too much. I want Canada, I want France, no. She just went to another African country. Another friend of mine moved to Porto Novo in Benin Republic.
So for me, it's the fact, I'm not surprised, number one, at the counterproductive measures that the federal government keeps coming up with, right? We've said this over and over again. I remember that the first pandemic against the health sector, if I'll say it that way, was when they came up with this ridiculous policy that you have to wait until so and so years before you can relocate. And people are like, what's that? That's stifling the talents. Like, you cannot tell me not to go if I want to go. And then there was a lot of advice from experts, from the advisors, don't do this. Instead, just to do things that would entice them. Then there was also the one where they came up with something that if they go, no country should hire them or something like that. Just very, very counterintuitive or counterproductive. And I don't know how long this is going to go on for, but
it will go on for a while, because unfortunately there's how is this thing said? There's a ripple effect. Do you see what I'm saying? And if they get away with this now, then what's to say that they can't put an embargo or they can't put a stay order or whatever on any other kind of profession?
For me,
that's the way this country seems to work, and it is not actually working, because we would think that on the surface it looks like a good thing. Keep the doctors here, keep the nurses here.
It's not any good thing.
It's not.
If we want to call it what it is.
No, it's not, because you cannot. There's a saying, I think, in Africa, in Nigeria, if you flog with one hand, you draw in with the other hand. You cannot tell people that they cannot leave if you have not also first provided proper infrastructure for them to stay.
Ali, that's not the way we work in the country. If we're talking about this, and it's going to be a conversation that will be ongoing on Jasiri and on other shows here on News Central TV, but I think for now we probably just have to go and sell markets. We are coming back. This is Jasiri. We'll be right back.
All right, thanks for staying with us. This is still Jasiri. Now, before we went on a break, we're talking about the healthcare medical brain drain that we've been seeing for a while, and the fact that now it feels more like the nurses are stranded. They cannot update their information. They cannot
reapply for the licenses.
Reapply, and it's just there. And even the board in Texas has given a statement to that. But there is an update. I think that they have been instructed basically to reopen the portal. Now the House of Rep has instructed the body, the nursing and midwifery, or whatever organization, to reopen the portal for them to re-register. It's remaining to see whether or not they will take this up as soon as possible. Hopefully so.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't just about the nurses. It's about the potential for any professional to be held hostage in Nigeria. It could be you. It could be me, and if we don't speak up and demand a better solution, things might get out of control. I think this segues very nicely into our next conversation as we explore how many Nigerians have turned to seeking solutions that will earn them their daily 2K. We will be discussing how the GIG economy has become a staple in many, many Nigerian households and is contributing quite significantly to the Nigerian workforce. We have a guest with us in the house, a digital consultant. His name is Pamilerin Adegoke. Welcome to the show.
Pamilerin, welcome to Jesse.
Thank you. Welcome.
Blessed are you among women.
Thank you, Lord.
Welcome to the show. So yes, there has clearly been a shift in how Nigerians earn, in how we have attacked the economy that seems to be attacking us, as it were. And it feels like right now the state of the nation, on the one hand, has pushed people, because necessity is the mother of invention, and has pushed people to come into their own and think and innovate. But at the same time, it also feels like it's stifling them as well, because you start a business and then all of a sudden people come out of nowhere. You have to pay this fine, you have to pay this tax, you have to do this one, take down your billboard, and all of those things. So what would you say is the underlying, first of all, the base problem that we're facing in this country in terms of people being able to work for themselves and sustainably do that?
So, first of all, thank you for having me. This feels amazing. So I think it's a people problem. Yeah, because at the end of the day, we keep saying governments. Who are those in governments?
The people.
It's us at the end of the day. Not until when I opened a restaurant, I had no idea that there was TV tax.
There you go.
That you pay for TV. I'm like,
Wow. And nobody says anything to it. No one, you're registering nothing.
And guess what? It's from the local government and you have to pay it.
Wow.
Everybody's aware about it.
And is this a recurring payment?
You have to pay it every year.
Good Lord.
Even if you don't have one, you still have to pay it.
Wow.
So how do you even know I watched the TV? I can't remember the last time I watched one, but you have to do it. So if we keep saying it's the government, is the government, who are those in government? It's the people. True. We can say, once that government leaves, we still get there. And what
do the same thing.
It becomes us.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so before we started, Catherine asked a question and she said we should mention our side hustles, right? And we're reeling out our manifesto. So that is what people term the gig economy, right? And very quickly, I'm just going to read this. Now, this economy is one that was once seen as a temporary solution or a stepping stone. It is now transforming the global workforce, so it is now a permanent solution, right? It's more like people are prioritizing their side gigs because it's looking like side gigs are bringing more money than your main job.
Or your gig survive on
one income.
Exactly.
Listen,
so I was going to ask that,
is
it just about the money? Because I know that for some countries in the West, right? I'm trying to picture now, but I know that some people still do it for the money, but for some countries, it's more about passion, right? You hear someone say, "Oh, I'm a driver by day, I'm a singer by night," just because they want to express themselves through their passion. But that's not the case in Nigeria.
For us, it's survival.
Right.
It's survival.
I don't think your passion will make your passion will put food on your table.
In fact, you will be very passionately hungry. Yes.
Your passion will put food on your table anymore. It's a case of survival for us, And imagine minimum wage used to be 30,000. Now they said 60,
they say
70. What is that going to buy?
You can barely fill your fuel, your tank.
But I have a side also that pays me times 4 of that, times 5 of that. You think I would take that more serious than my 9 to 5? But at the end of the day, will I want to leave my 9 to 5? No, because I'm still getting something from there. It's security. What if the government wakes up tomorrow and say, you cannot do this anymore? That side also has gone. I have to look for something else to do. But at the same time, I still have my permanent job.
Right.
That still gives me
we've not really, I have a burning question. We've not really entered the questions that we have. But I want to backtrack a little bit, guys. I want to take you through Pamilerin's journey so that, you can understand my next question. All right, so you're a digital consultant who's carved out a unique space in the digital workspace in Nigeria. And you've been known for your innovative strategies, your sharp insights, ability to turn ideas into thriving, pulsating brands. Now, managing side hustles for you to establishing a full-fledged consulting business is a potential to the win of this gig economy. Now, my question. Were you doing this for survival or it was out of passion?
So I would say passion turned survival. I loved it, and at the end of the day, it was paying more than my actual job. So it's a case of, if you want to get this in life, you have to do this. And with this, the way everything is, you want this, you buy it, it doesn't happen anymore. You want it, you save it for the future that may never happen. So that survival is needed. So that turned my passion. What used to be my passion now, it's about survival now. Because if it's a passion, it's just a one-time thing. I don't do it regularly. It's only at my free time. But I'm doing this permanently. So it's like I must.
You must do it
I must
as
do
opposed
it.
to just wanting to do it.
Or
And
just wanting to do it.
Yeah.
I can't just say, oh, I don't feel like doing it. You have
you don't
to
have the
do it
option.
to survive.
And so how do you manage first of all, your work-life balance? Because that's very important. And I think that it's a concept that is fast disappearing from Nigeria because there isn't any balance. There's just work. And work has now become life.
Yeah.
Whereas before, you were supposed to have you have time to live and then you have time to work. And now it just feels like people work round the clock because they have to, like
People
you said.
don't do 9 to 5 anymore. They do
They
24/7.
do 24/7.
Yeah.
And then they sleep for like 20, 30 minutes and they get up and they go again, drink a cup of coffee and get, back
People
into...
drink coffee?
People do. Or they drink agbo. How do you manage your work-life balance? And because you do many, many things. I mean, we didn't even read like the laundry list of all your achievements. So how do you manage that? But how can you advise people to manage their jobs, manage their side hustles, and then manage their own lives so that they enjoy being alive?
So let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
The way I work will not work for you. So your case is different.
Yeah.
I did your story. So your case is different. So my case, I'm even a bit privileged as well.
Yeah.
But can you be like every other person?
No, we can't.
So I'll tell you, because I have a bit of luxury to be able to afford some flight trips to travel when I feel like I want to zone out.
Yeah.
How many people,
Can't do
flights
that.
should be 30K to Abuja, Abi. It is now 170,000.
That's
From
if you book
30
early.
If you book early.
That's local. That's
And
local.
Local.
Yeah.
How much used to be Ghana? Ghana, 150K, you go to Ghana and come back. Now, if you don't have almost $1 million
Yeah,
to
you
go to
can't do
Ghana,
anything in Ghana.
so how much is your salary to say, oh, let me stop working and
take a
trip?
vacation?
You can't even go to Ubudukatu Ranch.
There's no Obudukatu Ranch to go to. That's another conversation, but it's
Okay. So let's be honest with ourselves.
Yeah.
People just have to work because there's no time to even save.
Yeah.
Because what you are even earning is not enough to eat now. So you can't even take a break.
All right, so you transited from side hustling to now it's a main hustle. And we often hear stories of people who turn the side hustles into main hustles like you. But we also know that not every side hustle can be converted. And so how do you navigate? Where do people get it wrong? And what do you think makes for a good success story in moving from side hustle into main hustle?
Again, it depends on the kind of side hustle.
Yeah.
As a banker,
Let's take a random side hustle now. Let's take okay, let's say people are in the office, you start selling croquettes, snacks.
Okay.
In the office, or you
I knew you were to laugh.
or you start selling hair.
Yes, side
I'm taking a very
million naira side hustles. You're talking about selling biscuits.
But that's why I say let's start.
Yeah, but I completely understand. 'Cause I was
Yeah.
going to ask a question about, number one, the sustainability of that for the individual,
Yeah.
and then how it affects the corporate world. Let me quickly phrase it this way. Now, Yorubas will say "onokon woja." There's so many ways to the market, right? But for people like you can afford other side hustles.
Yeah.
For people that have flexible jobs, they can afford at least one or two. For people who work 9 to, in fact, this is legal, so 5 to
5 to 10 p.m.
Yeah, 5 to
you're on
10
the
p.m.
road.
Get over me.
Yeah.
You cannot exactly do the major side hustles. So you see a lot of people bringing in chin-chin, bringing in
And you have to hide it.
to the office. Well, not necessarily. At least I know some companies that
Allow it.
that would allow
Oh,
it because it
flexible.
even helps the staff
Yes.
members, you know. So in that situation, is it not exhausting, right? How is it sustainable for the individual, the ones that cannot afford the side hustles, even the ones that can only, like their side hustles are limited? That's on the part of the individual. And then on the part of the company, how does this generally affect the corporate world? Because I know that there are people, especially Gen Zs now, they go out to their side hustles, they don't send you. When you come, they're yawning and the boss is asking, what did you do on that? And they boldly tell you, like, I was working.
Yeah.
So how does that
Yeah.
affect
So
both
it's,
parties?
Okay, so this is let's be. I like us to be very honest with ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
in as much as some companies now, they like, okay, you can do your other gigs, but the moment it starts affecting work, they will actually leave.
Okay,
Yeah.
now hold that thought. Let's go for a quick break. When we return, please don't forget your train of thought. I'm very interested in that. Because side hustle, my brother. Let's go on a break. This is Jasiri. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Jasiri here on News Central. Pamilerin is in the studio with us, and Off the air during the break, we entered some of the meaty matters that are on the table for him. But before we went on the break, you were in the process of telling us how to translate, and you were saying, I'll translate your side hustle into a main hustle, and you were telling us that it depends on the side hustle. And then we were saying, my brother, hustle is different. But it all leads, and then Blessing said, okay, there are many roads that take us to market. So please continue what you were saying.
So I would say, again, it depends on the side also, and it depends on the organization. I even like that some companies are now flexible. They allow you to do a little bit of things, buying and selling during your break time here and there. But the moment they could tell that it's affecting your work life, what they are paying you to do, trust me, they will allow you to leave. And that is your job security. The moment you leave, you are now back to come and join us and we are earning money. We don't want you to have that. Because picking between side also and your main also, I've been there.
Okay.
I had to leave my main also from the side.
Can you tell us the story? Is there a good story there? Tell us the story.
Well, just summarize.
Yeah.
Story.
Okay, so when I started my side, you know, and it was getting bigger and bigger, you know, it was, to be honest, let's not lie, it was affecting my main job.
Okay.
Because I paid more attention into that.
Okay.
So my boss had to say to me like, Pamilerin, the way it's going, you are focused more on this. Why not go and do this? Try it out. And if you don't, now, peradventure make it in so number of months, then we can call you back.
Okay.
You know, so I had to pick.
So they fired you?
I know it's fired.
I was
trying to see fire. So I was fired. To go and do my side. But God helped me.
And it picked.
It picked.
Yeah.
You know,
So I'm sorry, but this brings me to the angle of rigidity, because people would argue that in those days there was nothing like side hustle. You were committed to a cause. You're working for a company. If you want to work on your own, succeed here, and then they allow you, you know. It's something about let's say the Igbo culture, for example. You work as an apprentice, you sell for your orga, and then they do something like freedom for you, and even equip you with some amount of money to go do your own. That's the process that we have been made to understand, right, before now. So now it's like, it's like two sides of a coin. Some people would argue that companies are too rigid. Why wouldn't they let you do your side hustle? But companies are saying, if you want to work for me, you work for me.
Because I'm paying you.
Exactly.
That's why, when we submit a CV, my ability to work under pressure, did not say there was no side hustle. Did not say, I will do your job and do others.
Exactly.
So if you have to be honest, let's be frank with ourselves. Let's not lie to ourselves. No company wants you. Forget that, companies are now being lenient. Is that English correct?
Yes, it is.
Let's say companies are now being merciful, like okay, do other things along the side. No company actually wants you to do their job and 15 other things on the side. Because if I'm paying you, show workings. Let me use you to my full capacity.
Finish you.
And finish you. And when you are done, you go home, sleep, and come and resume the next day. Bam.
Yeah. So we're talking about people working multiple jobs and having to do so. Because it's one thing, I don't think anyone wants to be overworked. We all want to be able to like jaye, have vacations, go away, take some time to ourselves, self-care, and all of that stuff. But people do this because they have to do it, not because they want to. A fallout of that, I would say, is something called burnout. You know, when you're just done. You mentally, you're exhausted. Physically, you're exhausted. Your creativity is shot. All of those things. Have you ever had a major episode of burnout? How did you get there? How did you come out of it? And how would you advise people not to get into that?
So I think sometimes last year, nobody was pursuing me. I just felt like I needed to do more.
Oh, wow.
So I started competing with people way older than me. You know, like, this person can do this, I can do it. So it was a lot of pressure on myself. Nobody put me under pressure. I put myself in that position. You know, so it was a lot going on. And at some point, I felt like, nah, I can't do this anymore. You know, I got tired of social for the first time. I said I was going to delete my account, blah, blah, blah. Maybe just go back to 9 to 5. Because the pressure was a lot on me. Nobody sent me a message. I put myself in that position. So what I did was, I had to leave my immediate environment. Again, what worked for me won't work for 90% of Nigerians.
They can't afford it.
No, don't say that.
They can't afford it.
Okay, if you say so. But that worked for me. So I had to travel for a bit, come back. I'm like, okay, but now calm down. Nobody's pressurizing you. Do your thing at your own pace. And like that was my own logic. So that may not work for other people. a random person can't afford to leave their job. The moment they leave, that is it.
It's it, yeah.
Where are you going? You now start sending CV. You now going to focus on selling Google and Epa that you don't even have target market for yet. So it's crazy. So what worked for A won't work for me. Like Annie, you know our story.
What's my story?
I find out that you can give her the money.
This Annie's story. We're so interested in hearing it.
I really give her the money. My own daddy will not give me the money. So I have to come back to work.
After the show, you and I are going to have a talk.
Now, I want to dig into the incredibly expanding digital space. Now we're evolving in that on a daily basis. And the digital space is something that's in our faces. There's nothing we can do about it. It's either you get on that train or you get off that train. The train is going. And so a lot of people are struggling with it. But we also know that some people have also succeeded into growing through that space. They grow their business in fact, in incredible leaps and bounds. Some of them didn't expect it. You have succeeded in mastering the art of digital influence through social media. How can others lean heavily on this and make it succeed for them?
So I would say, all thanks to COVID, we now appreciate digital more.
Yeah.
We appreciate digital consultants, influencers, and the rest because we were stuck. So no, at that point, nobody was looking at billboards.
Right.
We were hardly reading newspapers.
Yep.
We were stuck on our phone and on our screen.
Yep.
And TikTok came. People started, oh, this person is an influencer. Oh, you can do this. They started posting their business. Started doing more of deliveries and the rest of it. I don't have to come to your store to come and eat. I don't have to come to your store to order. I have to come and try a clothes. I can order for everything online. COVID helped us.
Yeah.
So now, takes me back. Some people are really just rigid. And if you look at the brands that are succeeding, they went with the flow. I don't want to mention it, but there's a popular blog that we always read on our web.
Yeah.
Instablog came out, other platforms came on social. We started focusing on those. That person used to be very big, but now has gone.
Yeah.
You will know the person's name.
Yeah.
You know, so people, you need to revolve. There's no harm in trying different things. People are on TikTok. Who says you cannot promote your brand on TikTok? Who says you can't start wearing your own clothes on TikTok? Who says you can't be doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 with your brand and you're changing clothes, or you're selling, you are drinking your gari that you're selling with your brand name and doing all those things? Who says you can't jump on those trends? Who says you have to be rigid? Some people say, oh, it has to be professional photo shoot till when that you can't even afford. You get? Who says you can't just randomly tag 20 people? They can repost, they can sign up to repost, but try first. And that's the problem we have. There are a lot of brands that are really rigid and they are not even ready to try. They'll say, oh, it's Gen Z. Leave that one for the Gen Z. Maybe I'm millionaires, you die in that millionaires. Because you will not grow. Because if the one is moving left, you are still moving right. Claiming that,
going the wrong direction.
I'm
happy for you.
Okay. So, the side hustle is a hot topic, but we have one other, would I say even hotter topic?
Why is your eye shining?
Because honestly, this what we just talked about is like a prelude to what I actually want to talk about right now. So, in case you didn't know, first of all, I'd like to theme this hot topic wedding heist.
Oh,
yes. Now, in case you don't know, Pamilerin posted something on his page about a lady who allegedly stole all the money that they spread a couple at their wedding that he attended. And there's receipts that the same lady allegedly did something similar at another wedding. So I'm going to be asking Pamilerin for the footage. It's not going to be asking about his life story, the hustle. This is what I want to hear. Pamilerin, please give us.
And he entered. Did you see that too? He entered the gist on X.
Oh yes, I would have read it, but we have
right here. The horse's mouth. So let's hear it.
Please, what happened?
This one I'm used to laugh. Is what the couples are used to cry. Because my friends texted me yesterday, they said, Pamilerin, let people know that she stole over 8 million in naira and pounds because they came from the UK to do their wedding. They both stay in the UK, but they had to come to their wedding here in Nigeria. That she stole over 8 million in naira and pounds.
Wait, so it's not like a pick money from the floor kind of thing?
The entire money, I'm telling you that they don't have 1 naira from their wedding.
No. Oh my goodness.
So,
who is this lady?
I know exactly. I'm going to say her name.
Not the name, but like, what was her position at the wedding?
Yes, exactly.
So, apparently, at the back, before she entered, she told the event planner that she's the sister to the bride, elder sister. you're a event planner, you don't disrespect family members now.
Yeah. True.
They allowed her. She got in. She told us, the bride, that she is the assistant event planner. We will not disrespect assistant event planner now.
No.
So we are the ones planning our wedding.
Yeah.
And guess what? The annoying thing is she has a tag.
Right.
All access tag. How did she
get that? Exactly. You need to find out who was responsible for giving out the access passes.
I was going to say that there should have been access pass or a tag.
How did she get invitation? So not until when I saw other people call her out to pictures, that means she's a professional. Trust me,
this is what she knows
how to do it. So how does she get invite? So we can't say where is that she's getting invite from. It could be from printers.
Yeah.
She can go to a printer place and say, oh, give me 3 sample printers. Oh, I want to show a client.
Hello, sir. She stole from my cousin's wedding in May to stole her phone and her sister-in-law's phone and money. She even followed them down from their hotel to the venue. She claimed she was from the husband's family and later said she was part of the event planning.
What?
Hello, sir. In this case, this woman is apprehended. Please, can you notify me? Please, I'm the groom she stole from at our wedding. She told my wife she's from my family, while she told my people she's from my wife's family.
So guys, 2 different people.
Yeah.
2 different people.
Is that the woman?
That's the woman.
So people can identify her. So why can't we find her?
Usually it's a trusted family member that holds the money. Why was this the case different?
No, you know, nowadays they leave everything to the event planner.
Yes, because it's easier.
Exactly.
You pay them
for my wedding,
heavy money.
Was the event planner.
Yeah.
The event planner carried my money, took it to the room. So apparently, when the event planner carried the money, your sister say bring
Give
the
it to
money.
me.
Will I say no? Will I disrespect your bride's
family,
elder sister?
No.
So you can be saying something about event planner.
No, but there's a lot of vagueness in this because it's baffling how easily she could just sway her way and tell this person she's this person's family.
Considering she has done it before, and did people know her picture?
No, they may not have, because I feel like this is the first time.
One of the reasons
everybody's calling her out.
One of the reasons it could have been really easy. Let's be honest. Nigerian weddings are riotous. They are so not riotous. It's a ruckus. There's so many people. Who are you going to keep your eyes on? How are you going to say, oh, you see one person here at this minute, you don't see them again, another person, oh, hi! And then there's all that camaraderie, there's the fanfare. So people aren't thinking someone is coming in to do something bad.
That one is understandable. But when it comes to things like money, the ring you are exchanging, you
get the food you're eating.
There's certain people that you put in charge of these things.
She's so intelligent emotionally.
Because she has studied, she has studied the culture. This thing that Annie just said. But let's quickly go on a short break. Why is he always saying let's go on a short break. When we come back, we are not done with this conversation. We'll go, because it's a pattern and it's a trend, and she's not going to be the only one that does this. We'll be right back after this. Stay with us, Siri.